A man discovers he has a plant growing inside his lung. A woman was shot in the buttocks by her own gun during her MRI appointment. And a Paraguay official was fired after signing an agreement with a fictitious country. These are the weird stories for Thursday on Weird AF News, the only daily weird news podcast in the galaxy. A man discovers that he has a plant growing inside his lung. Is this a problem, or is this the next phase in human evolution? Are we going to become one with the plant life? I mean, this is how you really go green, guys. Plants growing inside your organs. This guy's name is Ron Sweden. Ron Sweden. He doesn't reside in Sweden. He's a retired teacher from Brewster, Massachusetts. Oh, he's a big old masshole in Brewster, Mass, kid. Ron Sweden was astonished to discover that what he thought was a tumor growing inside his lung was actually a plant that had sprouted inside his lung from a tiny little pea that he inhaled. Oh, I mean, that's good news, though, that it's not the cancer. Instead, you're going to have a pea farm in your lung. That's pretty cool. Maybe you can make some extra money off his pea farm. I mean, it sounds like a pretty good deal. It's like extra free oxygen in your lung because plants produce oxygen. So if they're in there, it's like mainlining oxygen right to your lung. Does that make any sense? All right, I'll shut up. Back to the story. 75-year-old Ron Sweden said that he was told that this pea seed had split and sprouted inside his little lung. It was about half an inch long, which is a pretty big thing, he said. Ron Sweden had been short of breath for several months with emphysema, one of a group of diseases called chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, also known as COPD. When he took a turn for the worse a few months ago, he said he was coughing a lot and feeling very listless. I think that means he's feeling down. So his wife Nancy called 911 and he was rushed to the hospital where the doctors took x-rays of Ron Sweden and found that his left lung had collapsed, and it also showed a grainy spot on the x-ray. There followed weeks of tests. Ron Sweden had prepared himself for a diagnosis of the lung cancer, but all the tests for cancer were negative, thankfully. Then one of his doctors discovered he had a plant growing inside his lung. How about that? A little seedling inside your lung, Ron Sweden. You're probably wondering, how does a pea get inside your lung? It's pretty obvious. You swallow it the wrong way, when it goes down the wrong tube there. The doctors told him he must have eaten a pea that went down the wrong way. That's even the doctors call it that. There's no sophisticated explanation from the doctor. The doctor says the same thing we all say. Yeah, you ate it down the wrong way. You're waiting for the doctor to be like, well, it was an esophageal rupture that the doctor's like, no, you just ate it the wrong way, bro. It says the moist, warm conditions inside Ron Sweden's lung were just right for the pea to grow and sprout. He's a farmer now, on the inside, literally. Ron Sweden said he had not felt anything growing in his chest, only that he was coughing quite a bit. Ron Sweden underwent surgery to remove the pea and is now recovering at home, thankfully. Ron Sweden says he was very amused when the first meal he had in the hospital following his surgery had peas as the main vegetable. He said he just laughed to himself as he ate them. Ron's got a good outlook and a sense of humor about life. Ron's friends have also seen the very funny side of this. They sent him some canned peas when he got home. That's hilarious. Ron's wife says, quote, God has such a sense of humor. It could have been just nothing, but it had to be a pea, and it had to be sprouting. Ron Sweden says he doesn't know what might have happened if the pea had grown to its full height. He said he might end up working for the Jolly Green Giant. Hey! Because they make canned peas. Are we aware of the Jolly Green Giant? I don't know if people eat canned vegetables anymore in life. I grew up on them, and that's why I never grew. We have a quote from Ron. He says, I think the thing that finally dawned on me is that it wasn't the cancer. Yeah, it wasn't the cancer, thankfully. Just a little pea in there. It's pretty good news, and thankfully Ron's recovering. And now he's got a hilarious story. A woman was shot in the buttocks by her own gun during her MRI appointment. But how's the MRI, guy? Is it okay? I want to know how the MRI is doing. Was it triggered or what? This idiot was shot in the buttocks by her own gun when she brought it to her MRI appointment. I don't know how you bring your gun into the MRI appointment. They don't exactly frisk you, but they ask you several times if you have any metal objects on you or in you. They make you then sign a piece of paper that says, I don't have any metal. I mean, there's so many barriers to bringing metal into the MRI. Perhaps now we're just going to have to frisk people. Because people are dumb. Gun owners are stupid. Not all of them, just about half of them. And there's no dumbass test to get a gun. No, don't have to take a dumbass test. You a dumbass? Yeah, you can have a gun. It's no problem. I'm never going to take my gun away from me. I'm taking it everywhere I go, even in my MRI. They're not getting my gun away from me. They're going to have to rip it from my cold, dead buttocks. But ma'am, you can't take a firearm into the MRI. Huh? That's not constitutional. That MRI thingamajig is violating my constitutional rights guaranteed by the Second Amendment. I have a gun on me at all times, man. This 57-year-old dummy entered the exam room with the machine's magnetic force triggering the weapon to fire. As you would expect. A physician examined her at the site. That's a good thing about shooting yourself right there, because with the MRI, at least they know precisely where the bullet is located. I'm just kidding. That would be an X-ray, guys. MRIs or something. Can you pick up a bullet on an MRI? I guess you probably could as well. A physician examined her, determined that the bullet entered her right buttock, and exit wounds were very small and superficial, only penetrating what's called subcutaneous tissue. Subcutaneous tissue. Her tissue was thick, exactly like her head. The patient was admitted to the hospital and discharged when it was obvious she had no serious injuries. It says it was not clear if the patient had a permit for the firearm. Who cares? What does that matter? She's an idiot with a gun. I mean, idiots are just getting guns. It doesn't matter. The report from the FDA said she answered no during a routine screening when asked if she was carrying any weapons. Well, it doesn't say what the state this happened in, but I think in some of these dummy states, you're going to have to pass people through a metal detector before you put them into an MRI for their own damn safety. Even then, I mean, I don't think it's going to work. You can't even get these gun fanatics to part with their toys. They just can't do it, not even going into an MRI. You need to have it on them at all times. No, you never know who I might have to kill when I'm in that MRI, Got to defend yourself at all times. Stand your ground at all times, man. Someone might run up on you and blast when you're in that MRI. It's a very vulnerable position that you're in, and you can't see them coming neither. Want to create a podcast? Spotify's platform lets you easily make, record, and distribute a podcast everywhere, even earn some money. All in one place, and it's free. It's called Spotify for Podcasters. Record, edit on your phone or your computer. Send it to Spotify and everywhere podcasts are heard. They even have video recording options as well. Spotify for Podcasters even allows you to earn money with ads and subscriptions. Best of all, it's free. Try it. Download Spotify for Podcasters or go to spotify.com/podcasters to get started. And good luck with your podcast. Good luck with your life, man. Yay! A Paraguay official was fired after signing an agreement with a fictitious country. Arnaldo Chamorro told the media that he has been dismissed from his job as chief of staff to the agricultural minister after signing a document with a fake country called the United States of Kailasa. The documents were presented to him to be representative of a South American island. And he just signed the agreement. I just want to let everyone know we've made peace with the country called the United States of Kailasa. Yes, and also Mario Land. we are going to... We're going to extend our ties further into Wonka Land. Everyone, we want good relations with Wonka Land. They have amazing chocolate. We've signed the Treaty of Cocoa with Wonka Land. We're looking to We're looking to extend relations with Legoland as well. I don't know if you know anything about Legoland, but it's a lot of fun in Legoland. Well, I don't even know how you become the leader of some. So he's a chief of staff of agriculture in a major country. I mean, I don't know how major Paraguay is. Clearly, they're lacking in the world of public education. Maybe they just got a map in their defense. Maybe they only got maps like last year. Maybe they just got internet, so they got no idea. They thought Kailasa was a country. I wasn't sure. All right, now we got a great quote from this guy, Arnaldo, that was dismissed from his position. He says, the officials from the United States of Kailasa came and expressed a wish to help Paraguay. They presented several projects. We listened to them, and that was that, he said, admitting that he had been fooled. Yeah, bro, you should stop talking. What are you doing? Just say, yeah, I was fired. Can you tell us why? No. Ask my boss why I was fired. Just go away. Go so far away. Never show your face again. Chamorro said the fake officials also met his minister, Carlos Jimenez. Their motive was not known. Yeah, you got to wonder what the motive is. It just sounds like an Ali G scene, right? Or some comedy prank that's going on. Did you guys look into, I don't know, the local sketch comedy troops in the area, see if they were behind this? Now, it does say an actual memorandum was signed by the two parties, meaning Arnaldo and the United States of Kailasa. Was this all done online, or did they show up in person? It doesn't say that either. I would love to see the photo of these people shaking hands with Arnaldo after they signed the memorandum. We're going to sign this bill to give us all your burritos. Well, that's very strange. You want all of our burritos? Yes, that's right. We, the United States of Kailasa is, we're having a burrito shortage. If you could just send over some shiploads. Okay, it says the memorandum was signed by the two parties. It envisaged, is that a word? Envisaged? The establishment of diplomatic relations between the two, quote, countries. In the document, complete with the ministry's letterhead and official seal, Chamorro salutes, quote, the Honorable Nithyananda Paramashivam, sovereign of the United States of Kailasa, and praises his, quote, contributions to Hinduism, humanity, and the Republic of Paraguay. The memorandum further recommends that the government of Paraguay actively explore the establishment of diplomatic relations with the United States of Kailasa and supports its admission as a sovereign state to various international organizations, including the UN. Wow, so it looks like they were trying to take this joke further all the way. They wanted to get into the UN. I have a feeling they would have been stopped before that happens. I don't know, something just tells me they wouldn't have got that far. The Agriculture Ministry of Paraguay had a statement where they lamented, quote, procedural errors committed and said that this memorandum cannot be considered official nor confer any obligations on the state of Paraguay. Ooh, they really dodged a bullet there. I mean, you can imagine what the next step was going to be. Yes, if you could send some Bitcoin to the United States of Kailasa, we would appreciate that. I mean, these are the sort of scams you got to look out for. Well, it's funny that they scam individuals, but then they also try to scam whole countries. You wouldn't think a country would fall for it. Paraguay, though, oh boy. I think you need to, I don't know, maybe force all your ministers to have geography lessons at the least over there. We'd like to let you know we've just signed a treaty. Yes, it's a group from the Prime Universe known as the Power Rangers. They've offered protection. And they want to assist us with global warming concerns.
Yay! There's a big difference between talking and reporting, especially right now with a fire hose worth of news coming your way. You know what helps? Having reporters in the field. I'm Brad Milkey from ABC News, and that's what we've got on ABC's daily podcast, Start Here. Every morning, Start Here takes you across the country and around the world for a quick, smart look at the stories that matter. It's fast, it's straightforward, and sometimes, gasp, news can even be fun. So let's meet up tomorrow morning. Listen to Start Here wherever you get your podcasts.
I will never find another podcast sweeter than you, sweeter than you. What's up, my friends? How are you? Thanks for joining me for this Thursday episode of Weird AF News. Tomorrow's Friday. That means we're only doing weird news from Florida. If you're new to the podcast, on Friday, only do weird news from Florida. It's called Florida Friday. So send me the weird Florida news if you come across it. Please have it be recent, at least from this week. Would appreciate that. My email is funnyjones@gmail.com, or you can slide it into my DMs at funnyjones as well. The phone number here is 646-450-2012. Please call and leave a voicemail if you'd like to. I'm going to publish some phone calls after this. I also want to give thanks to Ariel. Ariel Melton bought me coffees off my website, weirdafnews.com. How about that for a holiday gift from Ariel? Shout out to Ariel. Doesn't say where she's from. Probably someplace cool. Ariel wrote, you mentioned your Honda Civic, Jonesy. It reminded me of the time I went to a rundown club in Atlanta to see Martin Mull, 1978 or so. Got there early, saw him getting his stuff out his Ford Pinto. Anyway, you may drive a Civic, but it's better than a Pinto. Hope you get a career boost to more lucrative days like Mull did. Good luck with your life, man. By the way, you should sell merch with that phrase on it. Yeah, a lot of people have told me that, but I don't know how or have the time to set that all up. So if someone wants to set up a merch thing for me, feel free to do it. But I have to, I'm doing other things to pay the bills right now. It's not easy to live in Los Angeles. It's very expensive. So my time has to be spent hustling in other areas right now. But yes, good idea. I just don't, I can't do it. I don't have time. Okay, we have here reviews of the podcast. One good and one not good. Which one do you want first? The not so good one or the good one? All right, we'll do the not so good one. This is from T Medina 3272. I got 2 stars, and it's called Lame. 2 stars. Well, thanks for the 2 stars, Medina. How generous of you. T. Medina wrote, talks too much about reviews and not enough content. And the award for dumbest review goes to, and the reward for a review that makes 0 sense. It is completely untrue and is a straight up lie and was probably written by someone who only listened to one episode. T. Medina. Not enough. Too much reviews. I cover it maybe once a week. I do the reviews. Maybe. Unbelievable. Act like I do the reviews every day. Of course, when I do the reviews, I have to concentrate on spending a little bit of time on them to point out the idiocy of the people that leave me the reviews, such as yourself, T. Medina. And then you guys are so dumb that takes a lot of time. You know, I mean, I can paint the dumb picture of you guys in so many colors with so many brushes. I could go all day saying how dumb you all are. On to a positive review. Nellie, 5 stars. Nellie wrote, actually, 24 gold stars for Jonesy. I guess Nellie wants to give me 24 gold stars. How sweet, Nellie. You can't fit them on here, but if you want to mail me some stars, you know, those little packages of stars that you got when you were a kid at school. Nellie wrote, candid, funny, smart, pure talented guy. We all have opinions about something. I admire his delivery, just honest. I can't even get this out. I admire his delivery. Just honest, witty. Jonesy doesn't fail to make me laugh inside and out. It's the type of podcast where you can possibly choke from giggling and laughing. He has voicemails of his fans play at the end sometimes, and it's wholesome. He has a decent singing voice despite him pretending that he sucks. He's actually very good and can hit the notes while pretending that he cannot. To be able to sing and do stand-up comedy and a daily podcast, this guy has that much level of dedication and talent you don't see a lot around. When you feel down, just listen to one where he tells you about a robot werewolf in Japan. Problem solved. Wholesome, talented, truly, madly, deeply funny guy, Jonesy. We love you. Keep the Weird AF News running. We broke, but we support you. Love your fans and me. Cheers. 24 stars, and I mean it. Ow! That was my impression of Nellie going, ow! Did I nail it? Nellie! Love you, Nellie. What a great, amazing 5-star review. That's one of the best reviews I ever got in my life. It was poetic. Just kept going with the compliments. I mean, Nellie was like, how many compliments can I squeeze into a paragraph and a half? I think you broke the record, Nellie. And I'm so appreciative. It really offsets the stupid reviews that I get from these idiots. So thank you so very much. I appreciate you very, very much. And happy holidays to you and your whole family. I just want to wish you a happy holiday to you. From my family to yours, eh?
Hey, Jonesy, it's Annie from Rhode Island. You recently sent a shout-out with thanks and praise to me for joining the Patreon. First of all, you sent thanks and praise to me. I'd like to shoot that right back at you, fella, because thank you. I'd also like to say that Mike from Iowa City prompted me to do so, although I've been thinking about it for a long time. I just tend to procrastinate. And thank you to him for offering to donate $1 towards every donation. You made me chuckle when you were pronouncing my last name. You had it spot on the first time. The anglicized version is Autot, but it's a French-Canadian name. So I challenge you to say it with a Canuck accent. I'd love to hear it. And then, there was something else. Oh, so I've been thinking actually also of sending you some of my favorite coffee, which is Café du Monde from New Orleans. It's like this famous place that I've never been to, unfortunately. They have beignets, whatever. But it has chicory in it. And I don't know if chicory is a nut or if you're allergic to it. So I'd like to know that so I can safely send you my favorite coffee. But yes, thank you so much. And I look forward to hearing your French-Canadian accent on my last name. All right. Have a good life, man.
Oh, Jonesy. It's Juba Moon here, and I'm sorry I haven't called in a while. I sure miss you, and my God, today you were cracking me up. Anytime you do your song stuff, I mean, you're pretty damn good. As good as I am when I'm, jacked off on a little smoke and a little bit of, coffee. Thank God my cat listens to me and hasn't jumped out a window yet. But the Pringles pooper and the porno attorney in Ohio, start doing, Tuesday Ohio ones. Because I'm telling you, Ohio is nuts. They're like one of the top in true crime where the weird is just bizarre stuff happens. But some really great musicians have come from here. That's good. One good thing. And I love the words you use, like rigmarole and coffee table book. Makes me think you must be fairly close to my age. As I said something about, this would be a cool coffee table book. My granddaughter looked at me like, what? And, you have to explain it to them, and they're like, what? So I'm like, just, look it up. Like I've been saying my whole life before Google ever came around, just look it up. Now the Bow Chicka Wow Wow Russian prisoners with Bon Jovi, AC/DC, Moby. Pleasure for some, that's the torture for others. But yeah, I don't quite know the point of that, other than it really will drive you mad. Even your favorite song, if you hear it too many times over and over. But I'm going to tell you what, if they played Celine Dion, even if I had to hear it for a day, I just think I'd walk into traffic and just be like, I'm doing my thing between my lips with my finger. And most and all country music, except for like honky tonk, country western, that I could listen to all day. You belong in, you belong. I mean, half those songs are written in prison anyway, or beside a railroad track. By the way, things worked out for me, and I did buy a condo, and I am moving behind a railroad track, so I will be